All right, this is 605 Brennan Court in Avon Lake. We're going to be doing a cleanup here. Number one thing, we obviously want to get all the weeds out of the bed, and then we're going to be doing hand pruning, not hedge trimming. She likes the natural look of all her plants. That is very important to her. So we do not want to take hedge trimmers to any of this. It is going to take more time, but I'll compensate for that in the quote. So like any of these straggly pieces, we want to hand clip. We do not want to take the hedge trimmers to this. She does understand it is going to take longer. These weeds we need to get pulled, maintain these beds. Any of the dead growth will clip back. And then she's got a major invasive vine issue. All of this needs to be pulled and removed as much as we can possibly get. These boxwoods, same thing. She likes the natural look, but she just wants, some of these straggly pieces clipped back just to make it look a little bit more maintained. Hand pruning, no hedge trimmers. We need to get the weeds out of here. And then all of this viney growth needs to be completely removed. She did say that there's an azalea under here, but I think it's dead, so I'm also going to quote a new one. All of this down here can get cleaned up and taken out. Same with this. All this can be cleaned up. All that viney growth needs to be removed. I will point out, because there's two different vines here. One we are keeping, one we are not. We've got major thistles here we need to get. Let me go around and I will show. If there's any little dead branches on these trees, make sure we clip those back for her. These hydrangeas, all this dead growth can get clipped back. This forsythia too, if we can trim back any of these stragglers, hand prune again. We'll clean out the weeds out of these deutzias, hand trim any of these back. This rose of Sharon can get removed. It's growing through another shrub. Anything with this kind of leaf needs to be removed from the trees and from here. But this type of leaf, this is the actual plant. This is a climbing hydrangea. This is what we want to stay. So this needs to be removed. This needs to be removed, and it's wrapping up into the tree. Any of these little weeds down here will get. Any of these pine branches, just clip back so they're not growing into her plants. This lilac, any of these dead branches will clip back. We've got some dead branches here. She likes the natural look again. So 2 weeks prior, I want to spray the thistle that's here. These thistle need to be removed. These weeds. This is lily of the valley. This can stay, but these are weeds. This needs to go. Any of these weeds in the lily of the valley can go. So these tall ones are weeds, and this is lily of the valley. That can stay. Here she wants a quote for 3 arborvitaes. She did mention that at one point there was like paver patio stepping stones here for a path. She does not remember where they are, so we need to be aware of that. This guy we can probably take out, but everything else just leave alone. Get the weeds, clear out the weeds from here, clip back any dead growth. Weed. There is some morning glory vines through here. We need to take that out. Leave the English ivy. This can get clipped back, but again, this is all vine. That needs to be removed. This is vine. This needs to be removed. This is a rose of Sharon. It's wrapping around. That can stay. And this is the hydrangea. But again, all these vines here. Oh, big bug. This needs to be pulled off. Morning glory needs to be pulled off. Any weeds down here we will get. We can trim this guy back. There's new growth coming through, so just trim it back to the new growth. Back here, she said just leave it alone. We're not going to do anything there. She mentioned a rose of Sharon back here that she wants dug out, but I don't see it. So we'll have to ask her about that. Over here too, if there's any of that vine coming through, make sure we get that as well. Inspect this bed for weeds. There's some weeds back there. Clip off the old growth from the hydrangea. Leave this here. That's a perennial. But this clematis, if we can just clip off any of the old vines. Here again, we're going to hand prune any of these kind of sticking out branches here. We like the natural look. She just doesn't want this encroaching past the landscape bed. So just clip these back as best as possible. If we can, if any of these dead branches on the dogwood, we can clip back. And then same thing here. So any of these branches kind of really sticking out, we need to hand prune those. Get any of the dead branches off the dogwood. Get the weeds, blow out any debris. We've got a lot of dead growth on top here if we can get that. This we're going to leave alone except for anything encroaching along this air conditioner fence line. So anything here, cut it back, cut it back, cut it back, and then cut it back. We want to leave good space for the air conditioner, and there are weeds and stuff back here if possible to get that removed. We've got viney growth here. This needs to be pulled off and removed as best as possible. She is okay with us taking the hedge trimmers along the farthest point in the back just to bring it down a few inches, but up front she wants it hand pruned. So anything really sticking out, we just need to hand prune it off all the way down. If we can prune out the dead stuff here. And then this area here too, I told her we're going to have to hedge trim this because this is a safety hazard. Anything encroaching on the door, trim it off. This area here, we've got some weeds popping through. These are ferns, we want them to stay, but any of this random weeds, we can take out. Weed. We've got some of the vines growing through here. We need to get that. And then just clip back any of this old growth. The lilac here, same thing. If we can just clean this up a little bit by hand pruning, get it a little bit more shapely. Inspect the bed for weeds. We're not trimming any of this. Just inspect this for weeds. We've got a couple here. And then this Sweet Henry, if we can just trim back any dead growth. And, oh yeah. This little rose bush, she wants transplanted in the back wherever the sun hits it, so we can just confirm with her where she would like it back there if she's home. And that's it.